What was the journey that brought you into tourism? How did you get into it in the first place?
And it was a Canadian doctor who was working in Toronto that came to children's home and told my guardian, just take that guy to study a certificate in tourism. And that's how I ended up studying tourism for 9 months. And so I became a cleaner. My first job became earning $10 a month. Then I became an office messenger earning $15 a month. I became a tour guide. That's when I discovered my strength, because I had in school, outside books, of course, there were many other good strengths. I liked leadership, I liked acting, I did lots of sports. These are things that people don't value when they're growing up, when they're at school. They don't understand that I've gotten those values, interacting with people, networking. These are factors that have helped me. So I started as a cleaner, office messenger, tour guide, and I became a desk guy. And I started my first business almost 23 years ago, with $200, wow. Great Lake Safaris, and it's grown.
There don't seem to be a lot of sort of younger people in our industry yet. And I'm just wondering, how are we going to encourage to get them in here? And what are you doing to help that? Do you have any programs to bring in young people into your business? Or?
But I also do a lot of mentorship online, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Every day I share my stories, I do a lot of TV engagements, I do a lot of radio engagements. I have a radio program every Tuesday on one of the national radio stations. And I talk about, I talk about things that can help the young people think right, do things right. That's what I do. But I try to be an example.
Yeah. I started in the business over 30 years ago, but then it was much easier to set up a new business in those days. And I wonder now, if people coming in with new regulations and much more difficult to build camps and lodges and that sort of thing, is it as easy? Do you think they have the opportunities to start new businesses now? Is it easy to get finance for somebody, or is it very, very hard now?
In the moment you open a business in Africa or Uganda, for example, you're immediately, red flagged. Uganda Revenue Authority wants the money. Everybody wants money from you. They want licenses. It becomes extremely harder for the young people. But again, at the same time, the young people have better opportunities than we do have because just on phone, understanding how, for example, to engage on social media can actually give you access to business. It's not like our time where I call myself a BBC born before computers. So that time was extremely very hard when we were starting business. You had to use faxes, you had to go to post office, was very important. But today, there's especially Africa, because Africa has jumped a big step and moved to digital, moved to mobile phones. And mobile phones have, of course, come with social media. Social media has a negative bit, but has a lot of positive towards it, because I've used social media positively as a person. And so the young people have a challenge in terms of starting, in terms of capital, but at the same time, they have an open world to them, much better than we did.
And now there's sort of all the talk, and we can see behind us here, it's all about conservation and sustainability, and particularly sustainability. How are you engaging in that, and what are you doing to bring sustainable tourism to your, or sustainability to your company?
I set up a foundation called the Great Lakes Safaris Foundation. So this foundation, what does, we create training cafes. So we get top chefs, for example, from the UK, retired. They come to Uganda, they train trainers, and these trainers train Ugandan kids who must be from the communities surrounding the national parks. You must be within this 10-kilometer radius in order for you to be trained. So we train them for 6 months across all board, because they have access to learn housekeeping, they have access to learn service, they have ability to learn cooking, they have ability to do all these things. And it's shocking what's happening now. We started with one, we're going to the second one, it's doing extremely very well. Every young man that we get from the community is right now getting a job, because we realized that there was a gap. Much as tourism was improving in Uganda, but there was not enough labor to handle that. So many people are coming to us